Everybody.
What's going on, y'all?
Hope everybody's doing fantastic tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How everybody doing? Listen,
Yes.
we are back. As always, it is Tuesday night. We are here to give you guys an impactful night
That's
of
right.
walking against the current. So y'all give me a little second while I pull everything up so we can see your
Yes.
comments, see your likes, shares.
Yes, please like and share. Well, I'll start off tonight by saying, go Knicks.
Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. Knicks. We took it, y'all. We
Let's
took
go.
it. New York in the
Let's
house.
go. Let's go. Go Knicks,
Yes,
man.
go
Knicks.
Man, I was like, so many people was asking me like, we want to take it in New York, and I was like, I can't take the anxiety. We gotta get it tonight. I mean, the game was so intense.
It was.
It was so intense that I was like, we have to take it tonight. I can't take another game. I can't take another game.
And it's so crazy because my mom don't watch sports like that.
Right.
But anything dealing with New York, she on it.
You
She
better
on
believe it. You better believe it. Honestly, because it's historical, right? We haven't had a championship in 53 years. That's basically as long as I've been alive.
Right.
So to be able to experience that, was just like mind boggling. I had to watch it. It was history being made. So anything with history, I'm there. You know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, shout out to the Knicks, man.
Shout out to them. I'm just so
I
elated.
almost want to fly to New York to go to the parade.
I mean, I know. I was talking to my girls about it today. They was like, man, it can get wild out there. New Yorkers, we get beside ourselves when we get excited.
Right.
But the good news is that they said crime has been down, that the New Yorkers have come together, and it just seems like there's just been such a brotherly love. So peace to all the New Yorkers that's coming together and showing that love and, team, I don't want to say team, but either way, coming together as a team. I'm so excited for them. And I kind of sort of want to be in New York right now.
Yeah, we needed that, man. New York needed that love. It's been a lot of chaos, a lot of stuff going on. So New York definitely needed that unity, that win. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I mean, the anxiety with it all. I mean, I want to say shout out to all of the Knicks and even the Spurs. Honestly, they're a great team too. They put up a great fight. But at the end of the day, it's all about New York.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But listen, man, as always, we are back. We want to, kick off with some, man, with some stuff to help elevate your mind tonight, right? We're going to talk about the vagus nerve.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the hidden highway between your mind and your body.
Yeah, and we hit this before a couple of months back, and everyone has been reaching out to me saying, hey, I want to learn more about that. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to do it again. So tonight is the night.
Yeah. So ask your famous question, your infamous question.
Well, my infamous question is always going to be, how was your day, son?
Listen, today has been a day today's been a day. But nevertheless, man, as always, we blessed to be here. Shout out to everybody that's watching.
Yes.
We got people on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram that's tuning in live. If you're on Facebook, we could see your comments and likes and shares. So shout out to y'all. But today's been a day, man. We went on a little vacation from just life, right? And it's very important, I think, to touch on that because sometimes it's almost like, how can you be out here helping everybody when sometimes you need to take time to help yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's very important, no matter what you do, to take time to be with self, to take time to reflect, to take time to gather your thoughts. And, lately for me, it's been a lot of self-reflection.
Oh, yeah.
As my mom could probably attest, both of us, many of you guys watching, we make mistakes every single day. And, sometimes we have to take time to pause and reflect on those mistakes. And that's why we're talking about this topic tonight, about the vagus nerve, because you're going to learn tonight that your mind and body are connected in so many ways.
Absolutely.
Right? But how was your day today?
My day was busy as well. I've been driving my youngest son's vehicle, and today I got my ride back on, my Batmobile back on the road.
Oh, you got it fixed?
Yeah, I'm back on the road,
Okay,
man. I'm
back on the road.
Man, let me tell you something. Driving a car in South Carolina with no air, Man, that is not for the
Tell me how unless you live with no air. Remember
man.
that song?
Yes, it was horrible, and I was like, "What am I doing? Get your Batmobile back on the road." So I was back on the road, blasting my ear today, thinking
Right.
I was like,
Didn't know how to act.
I didn't know how to act. So my day was great and very fruitful, and I've been really just doing a lot of studying. I didn't work yesterday because I was working on my vehicle, and also was studying just some things that people have been asking me about. Just how stress and stuff has been affecting a lot of people, and a lot of people reached out to me about the vagus nerve, and that's why I called you and said, "Hey, what do you think about doing a part 2?" And so here we are.
And as y'all know, these podcasts we do, man, these is very improv. We don't prepare for these in the sense of like, I prepare my notes, she prepare her notes, and we come on here. We want to be raw and authentic with you guys.
Yeah.
So kicking off with a question, I want to ask you guys that's tuned in tonight, that's watching, right? Have you ever felt stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, exhausted, or on edge and couldn't figure out why? Right? Have you ever felt stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, exhausted, or on edge and could not figure out why?
Man, I can guess a lot of people can snap their fingers to that. Yes, I can say yes.
Right.
Sometimes you just wake up and you don't feel like yourself, and you're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way the world is today, the way society is, there's so many distractions. There's so many things that is taking over our minds, from AI, from the stresses of the world, the stresses of your job, family. There's so many things that's making people feel so anxious and overwhelmed.
Oh man.
And the thing about it is we trying to figure out why. And we're going to talk about that tonight.
Oh, I like that. So let's jump into the vagus nerve and the word vagus. I mean, we say that, and believe it or not, a lot of people have never even heard of it. And it's not something that's unusual, because even scientists and doctors, not that they haven't heard of it, they even are doing a deep dive into how this nerve acts in the body. And they're learning more each and every day about this nerve. So it just shows you how powerful God is, how he designed our bodies so meticulous. And I mean, even up until today, they're still learning and discovering how powerful this nerve is.
Yeah.
And so the word vagus, I wanted to talk about that because it has a root word, and it means wandering. And so you would think, like, wandering. This particular nerve, I believe, has a root word of wandering, because this nerve wanders throughout your body, and it does so many things.
That's crazy, because the vagus nerve, like you said, is one nerve, but it's connected to your brain, to your heart, to your lungs, to your stomach, and your immune system.
And I actually learned today that it's actually 2 nerves.
Oh, it's 2 nerves.
It's actually 2 nerves, but most people refer to it as vagus, almost seeming like it's just one, but it's 2 nerves. And go ahead to what it's connected to. Yeah.
Yeah, so your brain, your heart, your lungs, your stomach, and your immune system.
Wow.
And it plays a major role in all those things combined together.
Gallbladder, kidneys, intestines, liver, pancreas, all of that, it reaches there.
The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in the body. It runs from the brain down to your face, down to your throat, down to your heart, your lungs, and your digestive system.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, it is absolutely crazy. So it begins at the base of the brain stem, and it travels down both sides of your neck. That's where it passes through your chest. It connects to your heart, then your lungs. It continues down your stomach. Then it reaches your liver, your pancreas, your gallbladder, your spleen, your kidneys, your intestines. Could you imagine that? This nerve, or nerves, with an M, I'll say it twice. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, that's why sometimes we get nervous. Sometimes you get a headache, right? And the headache might convert to your stomach hurting.
Right.
And you're like, oh my God, I got to use the bathroom. Those nerves is controlling all of that.
All of it.
Right? It's like the body's communication highway.
Right. And that's exactly what I heard a doctor say. He says, think about it like a giant communication cable connecting your brain to your body. Yeah.
So this nerve, I'm drinking my good old
ginger ale.
No, this is black people's doctor right here.
I know. You get a stomachache, go get some ginger ale.
No, I'm not sick. I'm just, I just love drinking them.
I hope not.
Nah, nah. But the vagus nerves help control your stress response.
Yeah.
It helps control your heart rate, your breathing, your digestion, your mood, your emotional regulation, and your inflammation in your body.
Wow. Wow. And I wanted to talk about inflammation, but that's good. So, and while it's in the neck, it sits in the carotid sheath next to the carotid artery, beside the jugular vein, surrounded by the connective tissue. So think about your carotid artery. That's a very, very important artery.
Absolutely.
And it sits by your jugular vein. So it's sitting in a very, very unique area as well, covered in tissue.
Question for y'all. When stress hits your body first, right? Well, when stress hits your life first, where do you feel it at first in your body?
Your stomach, for me.
Your stomach?
Yeah. When I get nervous, or even when I get really excited, sometimes I can feel it in my stomach. You know what I mean? That's your vagus nerve, I guess, is acting at that point.
Yeah, for me, I begin to feel stress sometimes in my head. Like I start feeling my head start throbbing. My eyes start twitching sometimes, I start feeling chest pain, and even dealing with anxiety. And y'all know I've always talked about anxiety on here and things I've dealt with, okay? Somebody said head and chest. Yeah, for sure. Me too, head and chest. I always talked about anxiety on here. And, one of the main things about anxiety, when I was really having really bad panic attacks, I would go to the ER. And as I always shared, it got so bad to it, the medical staff knew me on a first name basis. They like, Lawrence, you back here again?
I think I love what your doctor said one time about the genie in the box.
Yeah, my doctor.
That's one of my favorite ones.
My doctor told me one time, he was like, "Listen, put the genie back in the bottle." He was like, you listen, you're not crazy, but you coming here every single time. It got to a point where talking about the vagus nerve, right? The anxiety, feeling it in my chest, feeling it in my head. Thinking I was having a heart attack, all those signs and symptoms, becoming a hypochondriac. And my doctor was like, yo, you coming in here almost every other day.
Right.
And we're jabbing your veins nonstop because we have to get all this CBC, all these blood panels, we do all this radiation. I'm getting all these chest x-rays.
Oh, man. Right.
They doing all these different, EKGs. So all this radiation goes to my body. And just for them to say, yo, it's just anxiety.
Right.
You're not having a heart attack. Thank the Lord, but man, I'm thinking about it now. Like my vagus nerve is out of whack.
Right.
For me to be having all these different type of signs and symptoms. And I'm not downgrading nobody dealing with anxiety, PTSD, or any of that stuff, right? Because, transparently, I still deal with that.
Yeah, we don't want to down you. It's not a matter of downing them. You want to educate them for they can, understand it. And of course, we're no doctors. I want to say that. I don't want nobody coming back saying that. But we want to educate you on, as much as we can, you know what I mean? But you're correct. The anxiety can really make you feel like you're having a heart attack,
Yeah, and it was almost like a fight or flight. So my doctor was like, yo, when you're having these panic attacks, like sometimes I start hyperventilating. I'm like, I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? And it got to a point one time, I think I shared on here. It was so bad one time, and I called you. And sometimes I call my mom, I call my family, I call different people to calm me down. Excuse me. And I was literally driving to the hospital. I'm not gonna say where I was working. I'm not gonna, I don't want to incriminate myself and get fired, from no place or get in trouble. But I was literally driving blue lights and sirens. Remember that?
Right. Yeah, I do.
And I called my mom. She was like, "You want to wait to a call?" Because she heard wheel. And I'm speeding. You know what I'm saying? I'm blue lights and sirens because I was in a fight or flight mode of panic. And I felt like if I didn't get to the hospital, what if I pass out and die?
In the car.
And nobody know where I'm at. So I put on my blue lights and sirens as an indicator that hopefully somebody, if I do crash or pass out, somebody would come and stop and help me. And show you how the mind works. I was so out of it that I didn't realize if you felt that bad, you should have pulled over.
Right.
And called EMS or called somebody to come to you.
I wasn't thinking clearly.
I wasn't thinking clearly.
No. So, and that shows you how your mind sometimes take over, like you said. So why is this so important? Why is the vagus nerve so important? You might want to ask that question. 80% of the messages is traveling through the vagus nerve to our brain. So this means your body is constantly telling your brain, I'm safe, I'm stressed, I'm hungry, I'm inflamed, I need rest, I am in danger. These are the messages that are basically being sent to your brain all the time. All the time. So the vagus nerve controls your heart rate. So it's actually the only nerve that can slow the heart down and maintain calm. That's what that nerve does. It controls, like you said, your breathing. It coordinates your breathing patterns. So like when you said, when you was having that anxiety attack, really your brain, you need to tell yourself to stop and take your breath, take deep breaths. It controls your digestion. It stimulates the stomach acid and movement of the food. It literally controls your swallowing, controls the muscles involved in swallowing.
Pause.
Okay. Your voice, it helps move your vocal cords.
Those watching, y'all get that later.
Okay. It controls your, you're making me mess up. I'm doing my notes here, It actually influences your mood, anxiety, depression, emotional regulation.
Right.
It actually controls your sleep. It helps the body shift into a rest mode. And also it plays a major role in inflammation and calming excessive inflammation down. And we want to talk about inflammation a little while longer, because when people think of inflammation, I don't think most people understand what inflammation means in the totality of what it really means. We think of something being inflamed, but it literally can create diseases.
So talking about the fight or flight, so my doctor was like, yo, sometimes when you have panic attacks, your body's in a fight or flight mode. So sometimes it's good to get out your car, if you're in the house or if you're at work and you feel yourself getting anxious, you sometimes get up, start doing jumping jacks, because what's happening is your mind is moving and your body's not.
Yeah.
So now it's like your heart rate is pumping and beating, but in your mind is like, I'm not moving. So now it's just, as you're sitting, you're just amping yourself up. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, when you start feeling yourself getting in that fight or flight mode, make sure you get up, start doing jumping jacks, or start moving, start doing push-ups, start doing something for your mind and body to catch up and match his energy.
Oh, that's good.
So, and there's two systems that kind of deal with that. That's your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system.
Oh, break that down.
I hope I'm saying that correctly,
I think
right?
you are.
Okay, so your sympathetic nervous system, that's the gas pedal of your body, essentially. That's my analogy, right? The sympathetic nervous system activates your stress, your anxiety, your panic, and your survival mode, right? That's when your body thinks I'm in danger.
Wow. So
there's been several times when I was going through anxiety, and Lord knows, some of y'all is watching on here that know me, that's been in my house recently. So with Men Matter, we took a trip to Houston, right? And when we came back, some of the brothers came to my house. They came to drop me back off to my house. And we was talking about anxiety, talking about different things. And I was like, yo, come inside my house. Let me show y'all something. And I showed them my medicine cabinet.
Wow.
And they was like, gee.
Right.
I literally have 3 shelves filled with medicine. And from anxiety, all kind of different things, right? But glory to God, I'm still here in my right mind. Nevertheless, going through those different changes in my life and different situations in my life, my body was in that I'm in danger mode, and I was dealing with the sympathetic nervous system.
So
right?
when that was happening, so your heart rate increased and your blood pressure was rising, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And it's been times where just I could be sitting, and I would check my Apple Watch, and my pulse would be at like a 120, 130. And then my mind, or my eyes, as the lesson we did before, the eyes, remove the E, you have yes. Whatever your eyes see, it wants, it desires what it sees, right? So my eyes would see my Apple Watch and see my heart rate at 120, and it's resting.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not moving. Why is my heart rate at 120, 130?
Right.
So when I see that, I will automatically go into panic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because in my mind, that's not normal. Not knowing that some people just have an elevated heart rate.
Right. Or really, honestly, your vagus nerve could be operating and you don't feel it.
Right.
Because they do call like high blood pressure and things like that. There's silent death killer, so to speak. I mean, I don't claim that, but that's one of the things that people say because sometimes your pressure and stuff can be really high. You don't even realize it.
Right.
So I want to talk more about that parasympathetic.
Yeah. So the parasympathetic nervous system, that's the brake pedal, right? So the sympathetic is the gas pedal, the parasympathetic is the brake pedal, right? So this activates the healing, the recovery, the rest, the digestion, and the clear thinking, right, in your body. The vagus nerve is the major player in activating both these systems.
Wow. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? I actually wrote something called strong vagal tone is associated with better stress recovery, improved mood, lower inflammation, healthier heart rhythms, better. This is when you have a strong vagal tone. And then when you have a low vagal tone, it may be linked to chronic stress, anxiety, digestive problems, increased inflammation, and sleep disturbances. So these are some of the things that you need to look out for when you're experiencing these things in your life, that you can check yourself. You don't always have to run to the doctor. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you can say, hey, wait a minute, I learned something on walking against the current. And I might need to take some deep breaths. I might need to calm myself down. I might need to take a walk to kind of get my vagal tone in order, So those are the things that we're trying to teach you, because too many people, I think I read something today and it was really sad. It said someone had came to work. I forgot what company it was, but it was something like a FedEx, to put you in give you perspective. And they said that the guy was saying he didn't feel good. He was saying, I just don't feel good. So I think he went to his supervisor and he called somebody at home and said, look, I'm not feeling well. And basically the company was like, get back to work, basically. And I'm just, paraphrasing. And bottom line was, they said he died of pure exhaustion. Body just gave out. And this is not something that's uncommon today. So it just let us know that we're living in heightened stress now. So we have to be in control of our bodies. We control this, meaning that you can tell yourself to stop. You can take a deep breath. You don't have to always keep running. So we have got to gain control of our bodies, because really people are dying prematurely or getting sick and stroking out and heart attacks and things that are just wasn't normal before. So what's happening, like you said, when you started off, what's happening now in today's society that these things are occurring so much? I mean, of course, we can say the food and all of those things too, but makes me wonder, because we still have our elder community that is still hanging in there. What is going on that so many young people are having these experiences and these illnesses that normally would plague people in their 50s and 60s and 70s? Not claiming it for myself, but I'm just saying some of these things that's occurring now at one time really wasn't happening at the speed that is happening in the youth today.
Yeah. Our boy Mike just said we literally work ourselves to death.
Right.
And watch this, you all. Many people today are not tired from work. They're tired from being stuck in survival mode.
Right.
Sometimes being stuck in survival mode, right, will tire yourself out, because you're always thinking, you're always trying to find the next dollar. You're always trying to figure out how to solve this problem. And your body is stuck in survival mode. So you're not necessarily tired from working. You're tired from overthinking.
Yes.
You're tired from not getting enough rest. You're tired from not getting enough sleep. And man, that's me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so many other words. You always tell me all the time, you need to, like, if you're not sleeping, just lay in the bed and relax.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest things for me to do, is to lay down and relax. That's why I'm so grateful for these guys, man, that Mike and Sean and Mike, Sean, Jason, James, for this men's trip, because I never been on a men's trip before, and we had a lot of self-reflecting. I had a lot of takeaways. We went zip lining. I know my vagus nerve was all out of whack. Matter of fact, I got to post my video when I went zip lining. That was an experience. But again, like, I had opportunity to rest and just be.
Right.
Sometimes we got to take time to just be.
Right.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think most people today are living or just surviving?
Well, I'll answer that. I think a lot of people are surviving. And I'll tell you this. I have people constantly calling me for consultations for Laugh a Lot all the time. And of course, when I sit with them and I go over what they're looking for, because we are a mobile experience and we do customize your experience to what you want. And there are times when I sit down with the clients and I'm sort of telling them what we offer. I can't tell you how many people that I've consulted with, that I didn't even work with, but just to, just having those consultations, they have literally said, do we have to do the deep breathing? Do we have to take time to kind of do these things? And I'm thinking, why not? I'm not going to charge you more to do it. Why not take advantage of calming yourself and experiencing the whole experience of what Life a Lot has to offer, because it's going to be beneficial to your health, to your mind. So, and that just kind of shows me just how fast we are. We want to just get into the fun, but isn't our bodies and our minds more important than just that? So I want to kind of give the whole experience. So I'm glad that you took that trip to say, look, I'm going to put my life and the things I'm doing on pause so that I can do this and just relax. You don't have to always go to sleep. You can just go sit in the park and listen to the birds. That is giving your body what it needs.
And sometimes it's okay to cry.
Oh, I love to get
so
a cry
even
out
out there in Houston, right? Sometimes I could be a big baby.
What?
So out there in Houston, right, we had some rainy weather, and one time I went outside and it was raining pretty heavy out there in Houston. And I was like, God, dog, it's raining. I was happy we were supposed to go ziplining, and it rained. I was like, thank you, Jesus. But the rain ended up stopping. But out there in the rain, I was like, just taking time to just be present with nature, right?
Right.
On the porch. And I just started crying.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thanking God for life, thanking God for health, thanking God for all the little things, and then asking God for mercy, asking him for grace, repenting of my sins. I just had a moment where I just got emotional. Nobody was outside. None of the brothers even knew that.
Kind of did a purge.
It was like a little purge.
And that's important. And kind of wanted to pick, and that's important. And I'm glad you did that, because so many times, so many men are for shame or too prideful to just say, I need to just purge and get it out, and it's important to get it out. You actually feel better when you cry. I don't know what that's about, but
you do.
I guess it's your body's natural way of purging and releasing. And when you release, you're letting something go. So far too many times we hold on.
There's some comments in here.
Oh, okay.
Letter said, when I'm working, I'm surviving. When I retired, I was living. Also, now I'm surviving again. Okay, well, you got to figure out how to get you back living. Because too many people are just existing. They're not living, right? Too many of us are just existing. We're existing on this world. We're existing on our jobs. We're existing in our day-to-day routines. But we're not truly living in our purpose. We're not truly living in what God has ordained and divined for us to do and for us to walk in those steps.
Yes.
Because of fear, because of lack, because of people telling you what you can't do. But we have to get to a point as a people, as a whole, as a society, where we begin to start living.
Right. And that's all relative, right? You know what I mean? What that looks like.
Right. Absolutely.
And I kind of wanted to piggyback on something you said earlier, sometimes how you said your heart rate was moving. And I think some people don't realize that there is a connection between trauma and the vagus nerve. So when someone experiences prolonged stress, even from your childhood trauma, grief, abuse, repeated anxiety, the nervous system can remain in a stuck in survival mode, meaning that it's in that mode and you don't even know it's in that mode. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're like, I'm fine. You think you're fine, but you have taught your body how to remain in that constant survival mode. And we do know that when you do something so much, sometimes you don't even feel it. Like, you know how people say, what's the pain level? Somebody might pinch you and you might scream. And there's some people that you can pinch them and they don't even scream.
Yeah.
They've learned how to endure pain.
How to cope with that.
Yeah. And so internally, you can't see all of these things, like your nervous system and what it looks like. But there are often too many times our bodies are in constant survival mode and you don't know. But how you could kind of sort of recognize some of the symptoms of it It's like you said, your heart rate sometimes, difficult sleeping, brain fog, muscle tension, digestive problems. These are some of the signs that, hey, why am I not being able to sleep? Why am I constantly fatigued? Why my body hurts? You know, you wake up like, my body hurt. Not just from sleeping the wrong way. Sometimes it just hurts out of nowhere. Well, this is some of the symptoms of your body being in that survival mode. So this is what we're trying to educate tonight on.
And like you said, that was good because, like you said, sometimes it's almost like if you was to walk, okay, if you got carpet in your house, right, and you walk that carpet up and down, you will begin to create grooves in your carpet. And your body, sometimes you create grooves in your body, right? The same grooves from years and years and years, the same grooves, the same transformation, right? But the thing about the word transformation is it's a trance. So what trance have you put your body in?
Ooh,
over time, over the years? What trance have you put your body in that is forming the results that you're yielding in your life? Right. So the thing about a transformation is we have to begin to transform our mindset, transform our bodies, transform the way we think, breathe, act, all those things to create a new formation, a new pattern of how you should begin to act, think, move, breathe in your life.
I love that. That's so true. You have to create a new pattern sometimes. And the only way you can really understand that is pay attention to your body and pay attention to it. Like, I mean, of course, your blood work sometimes can come out normal. And then you're like, well, wait a minute, my blood work's great, but I still can't sleep. I'm still feeling this pain. I'm still doing this. There's something else going on. Right. So I want to kind of like to talk about inflammation because when we hear the word inflammation in today's society, we always assume that that's something negative.
Okay.
You know, but there is such a thing as good inflammation.
Okay.
Inflammation is not always the enemy. So there's a healthy inflammation that fights infection, that heals wounds, and repairs tissues. So if you cut your finger, inflammation helps it heal, helps the healing occur. So that's what, there's some healthy inflammation. So our body does need inflammation. It's not always bad. So what we're doing tonight, what are we doing tonight, audience? We're trying to really shake you up. We want our audience, we want the world to be more healthy. We want us to be more educated and more in tune with our bodies and our minds and what's going on inside this wonderful temple that God has created. And we don't always get it right with science. Sometimes we have to think about things outside the box. You know what I mean? Not just a blood panel, which not saying you shouldn't get it, but we have to start thinking differently, listening to our bodies, and then, like you said, creating new patterns in our lives so we can live healthier and more happier.
Yes. Let me give you guys a quick, some common signs that your body's overloaded. Okay. Number 1, anxiety. Number 2, racing thoughts. Number 3, difficulty sleeping. I can't talk tonight.
Me too.
Number 4, digestive problems, right? Chronic stress, irritability, brain fog, panic attacks, feeling disconnected, and emotional numbness are all signs that your body, your nervous system is overloaded, right? And watch this. You have to begin to ask yourself, has stress stolen the joy of my life?
I think most people will say yes.
Yeah.
I think most people will say yes. Stress has stolen it, you know what I mean? And we have to create new patterns. I love that analogy that you gave. We have to create new patterns. And your new pattern was you stepped out of your comfort zone and you did a men's trip.
Yes.
And that's important. So we got to do more trips. And it doesn't have to always be out the country. Like,
Right.
you know, so many people waste a lifetime saying, when I get some money, I'll go to Jamaica. When I get some money, I'll go to Hawaii. Hey, get some little bit of money and just go to New York. Get some little bit of money and just go to Florida. Find ways that you can afford to get away. And sometimes even in your own state, there are things that you can do. I mean, me and my daughter just did a daughter and mommy getaway, and we went right here to Greenville. And we was able to just woosah. And I mean, it was an hour and a half away, and it didn't cost me a lot, but it was tremendous for my mental health and for hers. So stop always thinking that you have to have so much money to do something different and to vacation. There's so many things in your state that you live in that you haven't even taken advantage of. So since I talked about I'm going to really quickly, since I talked about healthy inflammation, I got to give the opposite. I'm a Libra. Everything got to be balanced, right? So harmful chronic inflammation is associated with heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, obesity, depression, autoimmune conditions, and even Alzheimer's disease. So the vagus nerves helps act as a dimmer switch for inflammation. Think about that. You
said something before that was so key. And I got this in my notes, that many people think trauma is psychological, but it's physical because the body remembers.
Exactly.
Right? Talking about the transformation, talking about all those different things. But the body, sometimes the mind
It records it, yeah.
So even when the mind wants to move on, the body records it.
Right.
Like that stuck out to me more than anything else.
Yes.
And like you said, childhood wounds, betrayal, abuse, rejection, divorce, financial hardships, loss. And I was just talking to one of my mentors recently, and he was like, yo, you have to forgive yourself for the financial loss that you always talk about. You have to forgive yourself for certain things in life because
your body's remembering it.
Your body's remembering it. So although my mind wants to move on, my body is like, I don't know how to really navigate because now I got the fear. Now I have can I do it again? Now I have all these different thoughts or feelings in my body of not wanting to move forward. So now you become stagnant.
Oh, man, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to be stagnant no more. And sometimes you find yourself doing busy work.
Right.
You're not really doing the things that you really want to do.
Gosh. Absolutely. So the gut and brain connection. So I really want to bring this point home because a lot of people don't understand this, how connected our gut and our brain is,
Right.
Now, this is another fact, a great nugget. Grab it tonight, folks. 70% of our immune system resides in our digestive tract. Of your immune system. The gut contains trillions and trillions of bacteria. So healthy gut bacteria can influence your mood, your anxiety, your memory, and your immune function. So it is so important to really have a healthy gut. It controls your immune system. We know how important in this day and age your immune system is.
Let me give you guys this, right, before we close. I'm going to give you some ways to stimulate.
I have so much more. We might have to do a part 3.
I do too. But ways to stimulate your vagus nerve naturally.
Ooh, I like that.
Because this is important. And number one is talking about what you always talk about, which is deep breathing, right? Slow inhale.
Hold up, I got to clap to that.
Slow inhale through the nose, long exhale through the mouth, right? The exhale signals signs of safety.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I feel myself getting overwhelmed. I just sit back and start breathing myself.
So can you let's imitate that. Take a deep breath in tonight. No, I'm serious. Because people don't even know how to do that. They just go in slow. Now go out. Exhale slowly. Now, when you're doing that moment of exhaling, that exhale is telling your body, I'm safe. I'm safe. We're safe. We're safe.
Right.
Okay.
Singing. Surprisingly, singing, the vagus nerve connects to the vocal cords. So singing stimulates it, right?
All right.
Prayer and meditation. Of course, prayer also, is one of those things that always can make the body feel better. So it puts you in a calming state. Now, of course, laughter.
Oh, my. Say it again. Say it again.
It makes us feel better when we laugh. Cold water exposure.
That's been a trend.
Cold showers, splashing cold water in the face, or doing the ice bucket challenges. You know what I'm saying? Exercise, walking, cycling, strength training, healthy relationships, feeling safe around people helps regulate the nervous system. Sometimes being around people that's not healthy for you can put you in a sense of shock, in a sense of, you know what I'm saying? So that's a key one right there. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead with yours.
Oh, I think you said it. So I think the thing about it we have to remember is that God designed our bodies with incredible built-in healing system. Like I was saying earlier, we have such a creator that created these temples, that it is really designed to heal itself. You know what I mean? So perhaps healing is not always about doing more. Sometimes healing begins when we just slow down enough to remind our body that you are safe.
Mm,
Slow down.
I like that.
And we did the example of the breathing because just sometimes I don't know, obviously I don't know where everyone lives at, but try to find something that you can kind of meditate, with, like a tree or something that relaxes you. And you maybe just go in that area wherever you relax in your house. Just shower. My shower relaxes me a lot.
Oh yeah.
So find those spaces in your home. Don't have to wait to go to a spa. You know what I mean? Like people do. I mean, we're wasting so much time.
Yeah.
Find some place in your home, your backyard, your deck, your balcony, your shower, your living room, your prayer closet, wherever that place may be, and just put on some calming music and just take those deep breaths. And remember, when you are exhaling, you are stimulating your vagus nerve and you are telling your body that you're safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically going to help reduce the negative inflammation that ultimately reduces all of the other illnesses that are created for an unhealthy inflammation. Okay?
Yes. Psalms 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God."
Oh, man. That's
Psalms 46:10 states, "Be still and know that I am God." Being still is not a weakness. Okay? It's allowing your body, mind, and spirit to reconnect.
right.
And I was asked to be a guest speaker at an event last week. It was really powerful, and it was like 100-something men in the room, and I was blessed and honored to be there, grateful to be there. And I talked about the topic of damaged goods, about how we're bent, broken, hard sometimes on the outside, but there's still good contents on the inside.
Right.
And I used a can of chicken noodle soup because, I was like, yo, no matter how damaged this can is, if you're hungry enough, that you pop that bad boy in the microwave and you're going to eat it.
Right.
So that stuck with me when it comes to this topic, because so many of us feel like on the outside, we want to think we need to, like you said, spend more money, do more scrolling, do more shopping. But really, we got to just be still. Understand that no matter what the outside look like of our exterior of our body, understand that there's still good content on the inside of yourself. Mm-hmm. Understand that as long as you take care of the inner self of your being, of your body, that's what matters. That's what regulates the outside. You know what I'm saying? So my closing thought is going to be, the vagus nerve reminds us that of something powerful, that your body was designed to heal, to recover, and to thrive. Right?
Right.
Not just to survive.
Right.
In a world that glorifies stress and busyness, maybe the most radical thing we could do is slow down, breathe, and give ourselves permission to heal. Because number one, you have to give yourself permission to heal. You have to give yourself permission to forgive yourself and to forgive others.
Absolutely.
And you have to be willing to walk in love, even when it's hard to make the tough decisions. We have to choose to love people. We have to choose to want to walk in love. We have to choose to ask for forgiveness and to forgive.
Absolutely.
So with that being said,
I got one more thing I got to say.
No, I'm going to say, with that being said, it's just an honor to be here before you. It's an honor that you all took the time to be on here with us tonight. We don't take any of this stuff for granted. Lord knows He's still working on both of us. He's still working on all of you.
Oh, yes.
So it's an honor to be here. So
absolutely. I want to just give a disclaimer. I know I gave a little one. The information that we shared tonight on Walking Against the Current is for educational and not intended to diagnose, treat, or replace professional medical care. Anyone experiencing persistent symptoms should consult a qualified health care provider.
Yes. So thank y'all. And we can't wait to see y'all next week on Walking Against the Current. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.